Hi everyone, welcome to today's math lesson. It is math lesson 2.4. We'll be talking about adding and subtracting decimals. Push pause on the video and get your journal set up like this after you find a yellow-green, like a lime green, and a blue-violet. So not just purple, but a blue-violet. Spend some time trying to find that. Push pause on the video and set up your journal like this. This lesson is about adding and subtracting decimals. It says adding and subtracting numbers that have decimals is as easy as 1, 2, 3. You need to put the addition sign underneath adding and the subtraction sign underneath subtracting in those like colors. So we're going to go over these 3 basic steps for how to add and subtract numbers that have decimals in them. I love this lesson, and when you meet with Ms. Fisher, you will learn one of my favorite math songs about the Button Man. And so when we get to that point, if you know it, you can hum or sing along. If you don't know it yet, then you will learn it and practice it later. So the very first step we do when we're adding or subtracting decimals is to stack them up, just like with fractions. So the very first thing is to stack them up. What do I mean when I say them? I mean the numbers. Stack them up. You have to line up the place values correctly. So let's use green for this since I started with green. Stack them up. Let's go ahead and put a bullet point underneath it. Line up the place values correctly. So if we were doing a problem like, well, let's just try this one. 3.4 added to 0.49. I said 9 and wrote 8. It's been that kind of day. So 3.4 added to 0.48. That says 3 4/10 added to 48 hundredths. So if I'm going to add these up together, what I need to do is stack them up and line up the place values correctly. Here's what I mean by that. If I have a 3 in the ones place, then I need to make sure that this 0 that's also in the ones place are stacked right on top of each other. So let's go ahead and show a green arrow for what this looks like when you stack them up correctly. I have a 3, then a decimal, and a 4. So I need to put that ones place, the 0 that's in the ones place, directly underneath that ones place. Remember, I'm doing addition. So the 0 has to go here because that's in the ones place. The decimal goes right under the other decimal. I have a 4 in the tenths of this number. Well, that's convenient. There's also a 4 in the tenths in that number. But then I have an 8 in the hundredths. So it would look like this. That is the first step of doing this problem, is lining up the correct place values. Okay? All right, step number 2. You know, that was pretty easy. Step number 2. We're going to use our purple for this one. I should say our blue-violet. Step number 2. You're going to do normal addition or subtraction. Okay? So we'll say standard instead of normal. That's a better vocabulary word for math. Do standard addition or subtraction, whatever they ask for. We're going to say that's all that really is, but we're going to put some bullet points underneath that. Okay, you know how to add or subtract. You've been doing that since you were in first grade. Here are the bullet points for this one, though. You need to begin on the right in the smallest place value. Sorry, I'll say with the smallest place value. And that's not the only bullet point. There's another one. This is where we need to be paying attention, especially with the sample problem we have. The next bullet point under here is to use zeros to fill in empty place values. We talked about zeros being place value holders. That's going to be really important here. So we're going to use zeros to fill in empty place values. Okay, that's Zero the hero. That's when we talk about Zero the hero. So maybe we'll put that in parentheses because we say that a lot. Zero the hero. That is who it is. Zero the hero. Okay? So those were our 2 bullet points. I'm going to actually go back and make that other one green. Okay, so I'm going to do the standard addition or subtraction. I'll begin with the right, on the right with the smallest place value, and use Zero the heroes to fill in empty place values. So if I go back up to this problem that I previously wrote right here, I need to take a look at it, and I am going to have to fly in a Zero the hero. There is an empty place value. Do you see it? Right there. So I have a blank space and I'm adding it to an 8. Well, you're just flying a Zero the hero to make all of the digits to make all of the place values have a digit. So for example, I have a ones place value, decimal, tenths, and hundredths. And now I do the standard addition. So I just add those up. 0 plus 8 is 0. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling. 0 plus 8 is 8. Did you notice how I said the right number again, but wrote something? I said the wrong number, but wrote the right one. Seriously. 4 plus 4 is 8. I am here for your entertainment. I have a decimal and a decimal, which means I need a decimal right in front of the tenths. And a 3 plus 0 in the ones place is 3. So that would give me my final answer there. Okay? So let's move on to step number 3. See, we've already solved it, and now we're already on to step number 3. It's really pretty simple. Step number 3. This one's going to be green again. Step number 3. Circle your final answer. Whew, I jumped the gun a little bit and already did that up there. Circle your final answer. Isn't that crazy? That's all it is. That's all you have to do. It's just to make sure that your final answer gets circled. So let's go up here to our sample problem and circle that final answer in green. But there's going to be a few qualifying factors here, just like normal. Let's put a bullet point. If it is a story problem, actually I'm just going to say look for measurements and labels. Okay, so for example, if they're asking you to add up money, then you're going to be using maybe a dollar sign or the cent sign. If you're adding up inches or meters or miles, then you're going to have measurements. So if a problem has measurements, you need to look for them and use them. So look for measurements and labels to use if necessary. Okay, if you're just adding digits like we just added together, you don't need a label on them or a unit of measurement. It's just fine. But there's another situation here where circling your final answer, you can't just do that. There has to be something else. And this has to do with story problems, right? If it is a story problem, make sure let's do if then. If, comma, then. If it is a story problem, comma, then make sure to put it in a complete sentence. We'll say to put your answer in a complete sentence. Okay, those were the 2 bullet points on that. Look for measurements and labels to use if necessary, and if it is a story problem, then make sure to put your answer in a complete sentence. That was it. Adding and subtracting numbers that have decimals is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Stack them up. Make sure you line up place values correctly. Do standard addition or subtraction beginning on the right. Fly in Zero the heroes to be placeholders. Circle your final answer. Make sure you look for labels, or if it's a story problem, that you are putting it in a complete sentence. That was it. So now it's just a quick little review of our Button Man song. Okay? Remember, this is just a quick, fun way to remember that when you are adding or subtracting numbers that have decimals, you're kind of like putting on a jacket and making sure the buttons are buttoned up exactly how they are supposed to. So you don't have a decimal over here and then a decimal at the end. But if you were to line up the decimals, then automatically you'll be putting the right digits in the right place values. So that's why we learned the Button Man song. So we're going to put that in quotation marks over here because it's a little song. And we are going to write the whole thing. Isn't that going to be so fun? Do you know the Button Man? We have to write that. It's a question. Do you know the Button Man? I'm not quite done with the question, so it's a comma. Do you know the Button Man? The Button Man. Look, I'm capitalizing B and M like it's his name. Do you know the Button Man? The Button Man. One more time. The Button Man. Now it can be a question mark. That's the first part of the jingle. Do you know the Button Man? The Button Man. The Button Man. Again. Do you know the Button Man? That's the question mark. Here's the answer. He lines the decimals up. He lines the decimals up. End of quote. So this is a really fun song we sing. So we're going to put it in a purple cloud. And I'm going to put these little green fun music notes around it. And you can do the same thing. So we have our little song. Do you know the Button Man? The Button Man, the Button Man. Do you know the Button Man? He lines the decimals up. Okay, you can even draw for yourself a little Button Man right here at the bottom. So I'm going to draw him. It's going to look like this. Think about who was the Button Man in our class or with your group when we learned this. Think about them marching in place, keeping all of those decimals in the right place so that our place values line up and that we're not all crazy. So mine's just going to be a little stick figure guy because that's just the way I roll. There he is. He's marching. Do you know the Button Man? The Button Man, the Button Man. Do you know the Button Man? He lines the decimals up. Okay, so I'm gonna outline him in green. I'm sure you could draw a better Button Man than Miss Fisher just drew. So you can spend some time drawing a better one if you want. You can even draw them in a jacket with buttons lined up the middle if you want. Whatever you want to do to make yourself remember that. It's just a fun little jingle to remember to put place values where they're supposed to go and not have it be all crazy mixed up. Okay? Other things to remember when you are doing this is that if a number doesn't have a decimal, like let's say the number is, well, I don't want to do this quite yet. I just want to write what the words are and then we'll give examples. So don't forget that decimals always go after the ones place. We'll say place value. Don't forget that decimals always go after the ones place value. So it goes after the ones place value to the right of the place value, which is right in front of the tenths place, which is right in front of the tenths place value. Okay, I know that might seem like you don't think we needed to review that, but you are going to find out that most often numbers especially whole numbers, they're not going to tell you exactly where the decimal are. You're going to have to place it yourself there. So that's actually really important to remember. Don't forget the decimals always go after the ones place value to the right, which is right in front of the tenths place value. Okay, so here's what that example is. So here's the ones place value. It's to the right of it, which is also in front of the tenths place value. Okay, we are done with this page of the journal, but we still have work to do. So in the next math journal, in the next video, sorry, you are going to have to find your math workbook, and you're going to have to rip out page 55. It looks like this. You're going to have to rip out page 55 and get your name and number on the front and on the back. So I'll see you in the next video with page number 55.